video on my sourdough starter. So I was in the independent supermarket. Well, not that independent. They've got quite a few supermarkets. I don't know how many. And so it's not one of the major supermarkets. So what in this independent supermarket, like privately owned supermarket? Are other big supermarkets privately owned? Yes, because Walmart's owned by the Walton family, isn't it? Still privately owned. But anyway, so um, small supermarket owned by a family, and because of that, what you do is you find interesting things. So the owner will go out and he will go to food auctions where you can buy food that's maybe slightly damaged or coming up towards its date, best before date, and they sell it off at auction. And he goes along, I presume he, because I've seen him. I'm sure he's still with us. He'll go off, he'll buy this or redundant stock, or through auction. And so sometimes you end up with these things like this. So I don't normally buy very strong Allinson bread flour. It's too expensive, and I'm cheap, to be honest. I would much rather buy something like that from the supermarket. I think, what are my thoughts on that, really? Um, more expensive ingredients are okay. Sometimes you get a better quality product, sometimes not that much better, and the price, so that'll be like a third, that'll be the third price of that. So, and is that 3 times better than that? No, it's not. So therefore, in my brain, it just kind of goes, Aaron, it's not worth the money. But there are benefits to using stronger bread flour, and I have found with certain things like pasta, so better quality. God, this is going to turn into a long video, isn't it? So let's put out some bits of pasta. So if you're making the classic Roman pastas, we'll do carbonara as an example. It's easier to make carbonara with a better quality pasta. There's more starch that comes out of that pasta than that pasta. You can make it with that pasta, but it's easier to make it with that pasta. So I kind of quite like using cheaper ingredients because it tests me a little bit more. So we have to work a little bit harder. We have to think a little bit smarter to get kind of results. So it's a bit of a testing your brain type of thing. But I don't normally buy this unless it's on special offer in the supermarket, in the independent supermarket, and you kind of go, ooh, I'll buy some of that, and then I have to change the amount of water that I put into my sourdough starter because there's more gluten in things like this than that. However, the point of the video is this. I've noticed that my sourdough starter isn't just quite as active and as healthy as it normally is. And I've been feeding it with that, and I'm wondering, because it's August, 2025, August, September, October. It's like 3 months out of date, and I'm wondering if it's best before date, isn't it? Yeah, best before. Because of the age of the flour, it's affecting my sourdough starter, or maybe it's because it's very strong flour, very strong bread flour, that it's affecting my sourdough starter as well. Maybe. Also, I generally find that my sourdough starter lasts about 4 years, 3 or 4 years, and then I need to make a new one. In the past, it fermented too much and became too alcoholic that it killed the yeast in the starter. So I had to make a new starter, and the new starter's a little bit erratic for the first few months, but then it mellows out a little bit and becomes a better starter. And then for 2 years, I've got a really good starter. I don't know how people keep their starters alive for years. So we went to a really good bakery, not local to me, but not like a million miles away, like a proper French baker, who's had this bakery for 28 years, and his starter that he uses in the bread is 28 years old. So he's kept it alive for 28 years. And I'm like, God, like I struggled to keep my starter alive for like 4 years. But it might be because, I don't know, it might be just starters are made from the yeast where you live. So wherever you live in the country or in the world, the yeast that you collect will be different. Different strains of yeast, because there's lots of different types of yeast, but it's slightly different. So, and I think it will be a yeast that can naturally live in the environment where it's from. So you couldn't necessarily take a sourdough, a yeast from a cooler climate, and it work in the same way as a warmer climate. And so that makes me believe maybe the yeast that I collect from the area that I live, my home, not necessarily just my home, but maybe it's just not particularly a yeast that will stay alive for a long time. Maybe it's just not kind of quite robust enough. Maybe. But anyway, so, or it might be that this time I'm changing the way that I feed it as well. So now what I do with my starter is I use most of the starter in my bread, and then keep a tiny little amount of the starter in the jar, and then add flour and water to that. So it's a tiny little bit of the starter. So that kind of compensates for the alcoholic buildup over time of the sourdough starter. So I'm also so maybe it will hopefully stay alive for longer this time. But I thought maybe it's the flour. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of this. That's not so bad there. It's looking a little bit sorry for itself. So we'll take some of this starter. So there will still be some yeast in that. You see, it's just not, and it's got a different consistency, but it's probably got a different consistency because of the flour that I'm feeding it with. So I've made it from 50 grams worth of that and 50 grams worth of water, and then we'll kind of see what happens if it springs into life. Hopefully, and then this needs feeding as well, but we'll feed that with the very strong flour, 50 grams of each. It's about a week since I made some bread and used this starter, and it took a while for it to get going. I normally just pull it straight out of the fridge and add my starter straight into the dough mixture, and away we go. But I had to pull it out of the fridge, and I had to feed it and kind of get it going. So I don't know if it's on its last legs or it's just this flour. So this experiment will hopefully see what's going on. It might just be that every just become resigned to the fact that every few years I just need to make myself a new starter. That's kind of quite fine. I gave some of my starter to my brother-in-law, and I wonder if he's still got it. I wonder if he's still got it. But it will be the starter that is made with the cheaper flour, so maybe I'll be seeing them soon enough, so I can always snag a bit back off them if my starter is going to decide that it's had enough of life and going to give up the ghost. So we'll leave those like that. I'll leave them out, I think, and then we'll have a look at them in a few hours time. That I've been, it's just sticky, horrible stuff, isn't it? I've been waffling on far too much for a video that should have just been quite short. So these have been out for a couple of days. They're not really bubbling. There's a little bit of bubbling in there, but not a lot. So I believe that this starter is going to die. So I haven't got, it's not cold enough to have a heating on the house yet. So the house is, it's jumper before we put the heating on. So the house is cool, but it's not cold. And even at this temperature, I expect that should be more active than it is. So I don't know if it's the old flour that's given it a bit of a, that's killed it off slightly. We could probably get some bread out of that, probably, but the last batch that I made, it was quite slow proving. So I think that it is on its way out, which means only one thing. It means it's time to make another sourdough starter. So equal quantities of flour and water. Now what they do say is, they, as in people on the internet and people in general, that what you do is you mix equal quantities of flour and water together, and then every day what you do is you take half of this mixture away and replace it with more flour and water and give it a mix around. I have found that you don't need to do that. I'll probably do with a bit more flour in there. All you really need to do is just give it a mix every day, because what happens is there's already going to be some yeast in the flour, a little bit of yeast in the flour, especially if you use organic flour. There's already going to be some yeast in that flour, some natural yeast. But what we're really trying to do is collect the yeast out of the atmosphere. And like I said before, you know, like where you live and where you're going to bake bread is the best place to collect yeast, because it's used to the environment that you live in. So every day what we're going to do is give it a mix around, and might put a little bit more flour and water in it if it looks like it needs it, if it looks like it's drying out a little bit, which I probably will do. But what happens is, the surface of that flour and water, natural yeast that's all around us, all over our hands and all those type of things, will naturally rest on the top of that flour and water mixture. And when we mix it every day, that yeast will then get mixed into the flour and water, and then fresh yeast will land on top of the flour and water again. So eventually, over 4, 5, 6 days, depending on the time of year and where we do it, obviously a more sterile environment, there will be less yeast in the atmosphere. But slowly over time, a yeast culture will build up, and then we'll have then a fresh sourdough starter. We don't need to throw half of that away every day. I think that's just a waste of flour and water. So we'll be back in. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on it, and we'll keep filming little bits of it, just so you can kind of see what's going on. Oh yeah. So don't waste those. They can be used as part of when this is get going and we make the next batch of bread. Even if these have died, we can add that to the dough, and it will impart a good flavour into the dough, because like the dead yeast and sour flavour will improve the flavour of the dough. So I can't remember if I said this. So the fancy bakery that we went to, that kept his sourdough starter alive for 28 years, really should have bought some off him, he used to, so the French technique of would keep a portion back of the dough from the previous day, and then use that in the next batch of dough, which would improve the flavour as well as the sourdough starter. I think I said that. We might need to edit that bit out. But anyway, we're back when something happens. So 3-4 days later, we have a sourdough starter. All I did do was I just added another 100 grams worth of flour and water, just so there's more of it, but I didn't throw half it away and add more. I just used it every day, just mixed it up either with a spoon or my fingers, and then we have a sourdough starter which has formed. Just goes to show that you don't have to throw half your sourdough starter away, and if we mix the top in every day, then we get a faster sourdough starter happening. The first time I made it, it took about 6 days to get to that stage, and we're in winter now, so it's cooler. So if I'm not in the house, the heating's not on, and when I'm asleep in bed, the heating's not on. So it's not as if it's a warmer environment, and it happened in 4 days. So we have now got a new sourdough starter. I've combined the other two sourdough starters. There's no growth in that, so it definitely was dying. So unfortunately, the old sourdough starter is now dead. So it looks like I get about three years out of a sourdough starter before it wants to before it wants to die. I've tried different methods of keeping it alive and it just doesn't seem to want to. I think it's just, it gets to a certain age with my sourdough starters and they want to die. So every now and again we need to make a new one. So this will be a little bit active and fizzy until it calms down a bit in a few weeks time. And what I will do is I will take about 50 grams of that and then add, well, maybe 25 grams of that. I'll mix it in again, take 25 grams of that, mix it in with 50 grams of water, 50 grams of flour, and then I'll keep it in the fridge. Maybe keeping it in the fridge is a problem. No, I can't imagine it's keeping it in the fridge is a problem. And then that will be my sourdough starter. And then any flour and water, any sourdough starter that's left there will go into the first batch of bread that I make, and it will improve the flavour. So, there we go. An easy sourdough starter to make. Is it a success? Do we need to say a success? No, because sourdough starter died, didn't it? So that's not a success. But we can make one in 3 or 4 days, relatively easy, can't we? So therefore a success.